You know, everybody is counting down and waiting for Doomsday, December 18th, when the unthinkable happens. Avengers Doomsday and Dune 3 are opening on the same day, which is still mind-boggling to me. It's something that I did not think was a smart move, but over the past couple of months, I have been warming up to it to the point that I've even been getting excited about it, especially when Robert Downey Jr. and Timothée Chalamet did that Q&A of Marty Supreme together, and they pumped and promoted the Doomsday thing. Robert Downey Jr. inaccurately said that they coined the phrase. They did not, but still, I'm all for them using it, and it was great, and I'm excited about it. However, there are some people that aren't thrilled about the idea. And those people are movie theater owners. On one hand, you would think the movie theaters will love this. No, what the movie theaters love is that we've got Avengers Doomsday coming out and that we've got Dune 3 coming out. On the same day, not so thrilled. Not so overwhelmingly thrilled. At least a number of them. And the main reason they're not so thrilled is there's three reasons, really. One is, as we looked at this Hollywood Reporter article saying Dune 3 and Avengers Doomsday and standoff over same release date, somebody's got to move. Some theater owners, starved for big movies, wish the wealth could be spread out over time. That's a level of overwhelm that doesn't make sense. So as I went through the articles, there's three main concerns that some movie theater owners have, and they're all legitimate. Concern number one is, just like it says in the headline, they'd like to just see it spread out a little bit more, right? Spread the goodness out. It'll be good for everybody. Their second concern is they're afraid that having these two films open up the same day is going to force some people, because money's an issue for everybody today, that having them open on the same day is, you can bring the article down, Jonathan, that is going to force some people to have to choose. We can either go see Dune 3 or we can go see Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
One of them we'll see, one of them will wait till it comes out streaming in a few months. And movie theater owners would like them to just go see both. The third concern, and I'm surprised I didn't think of this before, but one movie theater owner said this, is that logistically it's going to be a challenge. Sometimes there is too much of a good thing. And I remember in the height of like Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, Rob, do you remember this? Movie theaters faced straw shortages.
Right.
Soda cup lids shortages, napkin shortages. They literally just got, as the headline said in the article, they got overwhelmed. They just weren't ready and prepared to have that many people come in. Imagine Thursday, December 17th, as Avengers Doomsday and Dune 3 both open, and Friday. Imagine the parking at these theaters. Imagine the lines at these theaters, like the concession stand lines. Like, oh my goodness. Imagine. And so again, instead of spreading it out, there are going to be people, I know this for a fact because I'm one of them. If I get into a movie theater and I see a line more than 10 people deep, I'm out. I'm not going to leave the theater, but I'm just going to go into the screening room. I'm not going to buy the popcorn. I'm not going to buy I don't feel like standing around in a line for 20 minutes. So that means fewer concession stand sales, which, by the way, that's where the movie theaters make their money. It's not with the movie tickets. They only get about a third of that. Where they really make their money is the concession stand. So, Rob, I think all of those three things are absolutely legitimate concerns. The idea of spreading that out a little bit, the worry that if you have them both open up on the same day, some people are going to choose one or the other and not see both. And then the logistical concern about just straight up, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but a problem nonetheless, being logistically just overwhelmed with the sheer amount of people flooding into their theaters that weekend. That all being said, and that all being true, I still want Doomsday. I've gone from being against it to now kind of being excited for it. And listen, is there still time being March for one of them to move? Yes. But guys, if one of them moves, it ain't going to be Dune. Dune's now got their IMAX screens locked up.
Right.
They're not moving. Guys, I don't care what you say, but I want to see it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Just shut up. Shh, hush. It doesn't matter. Dune 3 is not moving. Just accept that right now. Because they've locked in their deal with IMAX and they have that exclusive run of 3 weeks with those IMAX screens all to themselves.
And they'll be sold out.
And they'll be sold out. All 3 of those weeks are going to be sold out. So if one of them moves, it will be Avengers Doomsday. And I don't think Doomsday is going to move either. I think Disney loves that Christmas season release window for their big epic blockbusters. They love it. Makes them lots of money. They don't want to move. So
and nothing screams Christmas more than this shot of Cyclops.
Oh my God. I cannot wait to see that. Jingle bells, mother effers.
I was going to say Merry Christmas, same thing.
So, I mean, one of them, Doomsday may not happen. It is possible it doesn't, but when you understand that there's no way in hell that Dune 3 is moving because of the IMAX screen contract, and it's really unlikely that Avengers wants to move, I think that's what they're getting. And I think it's going to be a day, to quote Darth Vader, a day long remembered for movie theater goers. You know, Rob, I still remember opening day of the first Joss Whedon Avengers film. Now, these were the dark times before we caught up with the rest of the civilized world and had pre-assigned seating in our theaters. So you literally, like a Neanderthal, you literally had to show up at the theater 3 or 4 hours early and stand in a line so you wouldn't get one of the neck breaker seats. But I remember our offices, Jonathan, at that time were back at the AMC Burbank 16.
Yeah.
There's this big giant courtyard down at the foot of the stairs of it. And the opening night of Avengers, it was playing on every screen in the theater, all 16. There were just 16 lines filling this city walk, like hours before the movie opened. And I will always remember, it was special, man. It was a special day. And I knew being there because I was working with AMC. We were walking around interviewing people in the lineups and everything. And we had Clark Gregg there, I believe, that night with us, Agent Coulson, who was going around theater to theater with me to introduce the movie. It was a really, really cool night. But I remember walking around there thinking, I'm always going to remember this as a movie fan, this event. I think Doomsday is going to be like that. Not the lines outside, but just seeing Super Bowl-like fever, Super Bowl-like frenzy, excitement, joy. You know, I think we're going to see packed theaters, and not spreading it out. Is it a problem? Yeah. Are there going to be some people that are going to pick one or the other instead of both? Yes. Is it going to cause some logistical nightmares with that many people coming into their theaters when, let's face it, for the last 6 or 7 years, they haven't been all that accustomed to that many people coming in? Yes. All that is true. And I'll still take it. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Factor. Hey guys, you know how it is. Between the daily live show, tracking the latest box office numbers, and planning our next movie meetup in the van, my schedule gets absolutely hectic. Now, somewhere between the first warm weekend and realizing short season is getting close, eating well stops just being optional. Factor is how we stop letting a busy schedule be our excuse. They provide fully prepared meals designed by dietitians and crafted by chefs. I had their smoky Gouda mac and shredded beef after a long editing session last week on that Spider-Man Rights video I did, and it was amazing. So whether you're looking for calorie smart options or the new Muscle Pro collection, which is perfect if you're getting back into a workout routine, they have 100 rotating weekly meals to keep things fresh. And the best part, They are always fresh, never frozen, and ready in just 2 minutes with zero prep and zero stress. I love it, and I think you will too. So head over to factormeals.com/Campea50off and use the code Campea50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easy with Factor. So anyway, Rob, you hear some of the concerns that some of the movie theater owners have. I think they're legit. What do you think of the odds, or can you see any other potential problems with them opening both of these films on the same day? If one of them moves, which one do you think moves? And do you think we still ultimately get Doomsday?
Well, okay, there's a lot of problems. Like, let's just say for the time being that Marvel wants to pull up Doomsday and release it in November before Thanksgiving.
Right.
The problem with movie releases now is they're optimized for worldwide distribution. So you have movies that are subtitled, you have movies that are dubbed, you have movies that are all these different kinds of things. And Doomsday is going to be a worldwide release. Sometimes they even release these movies early, but this is going to be a big thing. And that means that they're like, let's say 2 or 3 months out. If they lose a month, they have to pull back a month. You know, it pushes the movie's release date forward, even though it's pulling it back. They have less time. And if they're indeed doing reshoots and they're indeed deep in post, this movie has probably, it would not surprise me to find out that Doomsday has more visual effects than any other movie in history. So that's a problem.
I won't be, I mean, it'll get, Avatar will give it a run for its money, but you're right.
Well, you know, Avatar would, because it's all
special effects, yeah.
But the length, if Doomsday is longer, I mean, I don't know to believe whatever reports. I don't think they know how long it is right now because it's still being refined and all that. But it just might be not possible to bring up Doomsday by a month. And Dune's not moving because it's locked those theaters in. So it might
IMAX
just be
theaters.
Yeah, the IMAX theaters. So, you know, how cool is this shot, dude? Come on.
Oh my God. You know, the one that I think it's on the same pedestal, but the camera's from the front and it's Anya Taylor-Joy in her white gown blowing. Oh, that's the shot right there.
Bro.
I saw that shot and my jaw dropped. That is pure cinematography.
Yeah, man. And they shot this movie on film, you know, because it's not Greg Fraser. It's the guy who shot La La Land. And anyway, somebody please release a 12-inch remix of that chant because I want it. But I like, this is a huge deal. This is fantasy filmmaking at its most epic. And already, since they've dropped that trailer for Dune 3, the hype is real, man. Everybody on social media is making videos, girls and guys, about that chant.
Who do you call to? My God.
I mean, what are the lyrics? I want to learn how to sing that. All the clubs should have remixes of that. I want to go to Ibiza and I want to listen to the.
You know what it reminded me of? You know the rugby, the New Zealand All Blacks?
Right.
Yeah, man. It's
their haka they do.
That's totally what it is, man.
Yeah.
You got to stick your tongue. You know when you do it. I love being in New Zealand and seeing Maori hakas. It was the greatest thing in the world. But this is like the ultimate space haka, you know, and it is Timothée Chalamet doing it. And you know what? He should just start walking around and wherever he walks, just sing that song. Just walk into a room. You know, I don't want to be disrespected anymore. Bring his knife with him, his crystal knife. You know, but I don't know if it's possible. Ultimately, now, like you, John, I want Doomsday. You know why? Because there's never been anything like this.
There's never. I mean, Barbenheimer comes close. But it's different.
But this is the same thing. Like, this is for us, man. This is for us. Not that Barbenheimer wasn't. And I thought Barbie was actually a tremendous film.
Barbie was a wonderful film, so was Oppenheimer, you know, but they were targeting two different demographics.
Two very different demographics.
Dune 3 and Doomsday,
us, man. This is for us. And like, you and I are both big Doomsday supporters. I'm not one of the, because it's all the character stuff. The action, whatever. I just want to see all those characters talk to each other. You know, I want to see Ant-Man talk to Shang-Chi. I want to see that. But I do think that they should do a trailer where Victor Von Doom's in Latveria and he walks up some staircases and musters his troops singing this song. That would be the ultimate Doomsday ad.
They need to release a joint trailer where it's a tight up on Doctor Doom and his mask, and you hear a rumble and the camera starts to pan back, and as it gets wider and wider in frame, you realize Doom is riding a sandworm.
Bro.
And it just says Avengers Doomsday, Dune 3, December 18th.
I mean, the possibilities, and you know that Robert Downey Jr. would be down for that.
He's probably begging for it.
And
right now.
you know how they have those videos where one person talks to another person, but they're the same person.
Yes.
You know, like that. They've got to do a Florence Pugh one. You
Oh,
know,
'cause
where
she's
she's
in
Princess
both.
Irulan and she's Yelena.
Oh, that would be
And-
really
and-
funny.
I mean, that would be hilarious. And they just need to embrace all of the social media and just go for it, because people will love that.
And you know what? To the legitimate concern about logistics in the theaters and handling it, I like to bring this up. You know, Ann and I were walking around when we went to go see Project Hail Mary at the Irvine Spectrum. We're walking around. It's a big outdoor mall. It's a beautiful place. And we're on our way to the Apple store because I want to see the new Neos. As we're walking down the boardwalk, though, there's this clothing store, and there's literally a lineup out front of the clothing store.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
For like
what's going
preview
on
of-
in there? And my wife Ann says it's manufactured exclusivity. They put, as she said, it's like nightclubs in New York. There's still plenty of room inside, but they create a lineup outside to create this image of an exclusive experience of having to be a
An event
part
happening.
of something, right? And like, yes, the logistical problems will be there, but the lasting memories and impressions of the wonderful chaos of people, like thousands of people descending on a local theater, I think is a memory you can't buy.
Right.
I think for the movie theaters, it just creates the desire to come back again. So problem, yes, but I think there's an upside to it.
They're putting out the obvious problems, but I think this article fails to address the possibilities here of great profit for them as well.
Oh,
And-
sure.
And although a lot of people may not see the two movies on the same day, they want to be a part of that day, so they're going to go to one of them. That happened with Barbenheimer.
Yeah.
And yeah, people may not be able. I don't believe that if people really want to see both of these, they may wait till weekend 3. But these movies are going to be in theaters even longer now because of this.
Yeah.
Plus, it's the whole Christmas break.
Yeah.
You know, they start on the 18th of December. They've got a 2-week launch pad to where people are just going to go to these movies. Like, and it's going to be a thing to see both of them in one day. You've got, because Dune's probably going to be 3 hours. So
Probably.
you got Doomsday. If Avengers Doomsday is more than 3 hours, and you know there's going to be 24-hour. It's going to be 24-hour.
Oh, no, just like the first Avengers film when that
Yeah,
came out,
dude.
they just kept adding more and more later and later showtimes till it was at the point that the theater was literally running 24 hours for that opening weekend.
I mean, if I had any, investment money, I would start stocking up on lids for cups now and stockpile straws, because there's not going to be any oil to make these things
Find their
by the time
suppliers.
these movies come out. Yeah, and I would just be like, if you want, hello movie theaters, I've got your cup size lids.
If there was ever a time to use your movie theater's app to pre-order your snacks,
Yeah.
so it's waiting there for you like AMC does.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to be the time to do it.
you can do it with Regal too.
Oh, I'm so excited for this. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? There are some movie theater owners that are a little bit worried about Doomsday, that maybe they should spread it apart a little bit more. They're worried about some people needing to pick one or the other. They're worried about the logistics of having that many people descending on the theater. But I think all those things could have upsides too. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.